Hey Joy, okay, I was going to show you a couple things with your eye. First thing I want to say is this is awesome. I mean, most people that I work with that start painting portraits, they want to do this. They want to make the eyes look like footballs, and they'll have these dark outlines like this, and then they'll, have the green in the middle and everything. But it's always got this dark outline and looks like a football, and you got these very subtle lines. Awesome. Keep that up. Keep that vision going. So what I'm going to do is show you how I would do the eyelashes, and just show you a couple things that you could do to enhance the eye a little bit more. I mean, I love everything that you did in the iris, all the little details. It's really, really, really good. I hate to even to tell you anything because I don't want you to feel like it wasn't a good job. I'm not kidding you. This is awesome. It's really amazing. So, without further yapping, let me see what I can do. For the eyelashes, pretty much black. Generally, I don't use straight black. I like to maybe give them a little bit of a brown tint. If you mix red and yellow and black, you get a brown. This is a little bit, it's too light in my opinion to do the eyelashes, so I'm going to just take this brown mixture and mix it a little bit into my black, just to make it a little more subtle. Don't have to do that. You can just kind of go right in with it. When you're working with watercolors, if you get your paint nice and thin, and I like to take and do this, I hope I'm getting this on camera, is kind of twirl my brush so that it comes to a point. So let me reload it. And basically what I'll do is just come over here and you leave a little bit of a space there as the eyelashes kind of come off of there. When I say a space, where you have where the shelf of the lid meets the white of the eye there, it doesn't, the eyelashes don't go all the way down to that line. They stop a little short of that. That's basically just kind of making little smiley faces. And they're not all perfect. Notice that the eyelashes, they kind of form little clusters. You don't want to make it look like a picket fence. And they also start to tilt a little bit. The direction changes. You know, they're kind of going this way, and then it's almost upright, and then they start going kind of veering to the right a little bit. And one thing you can always do when if you're unsure about your brush strokes, or you're nervous about doing a particular part, is just practice on a piece of paper like that, you know, till you feel kind of comfortable. And the worst thing that happens is you just get some white acrylic paint. If you're working in watercolors, just get some white acrylic paint, paint over it, and then repaint your flesh tone, and then just redo it. Pretty much anything can be fixed. That's the thing that I look at when I'm painting, is anything can be fixed. And my favorite art teacher in the whole world is Joyce Hall. And she says, it's just paint, nobody dies. And it's so true. If we just remember that, it's just paint. You know, there's no reason to be worried or nervous. Also, too, is I take my paint brushes and I put them in a pencil sharpener, and I get a point on it, because sometimes you can come in and kind of scratch out a little bit on edges while the paint is still wet to redefine a line. You got to do it right away. I waited too long. I can't scratch it out. I would have liked for these to have been a little bit thinner, but I'll show you what I'll do to fix that. And then, as you notice on the lower lashes, you can see, I call this the eyelid shelf, or the eye shelf. It's like this bare area here that's flattened out, that's what meets with the eye. So I always come, and I love it that you got that on there. Most people don't see that. You just come right off of it, that line that you made, and you just start painting those lashes. And all you have to do is just have a nice small brush that will do this for you, the right tool. And also too is notice that the lashes get a little bit shorter and less defined as they go towards the red part of the eye. You'll have to go and look up your science book and tell me what that is. It's that red mushy thing right there. Alright, let me go back to this. This is kind of not real happy with how I did that, but see, I can come back as there's less paint on my brush. I can kind of go back over and sort of dry brush a little more length into the lashes. And in a case like this where, I don't know, not real happy with that, I can just mix up some flesh tone. So I'm going to take my red, my yellow, grab a little bit of white, see if I can match your flesh tone there. Ooh, pretty close. Maybe a little bit lighter. See, so I can come back in here and, you know, kind of thin out some areas where I felt like I got the lashes a little too thick. This is called negative space painting, and all it is just you're painting the background color behind the main area that you were just painting. And that's what I'm doing, is just throwing in some flesh color to kind of soften this a little bit. Maybe even soften where the eyelashes are meeting the eyes. Maybe just kind of, excuse me, lightly go back over that area there and lighten this a little bit. Or not lighten, soften it a little bit where the lashes meet the eye. It's just a real thin wash. See what happens there is I'm just barely have any paint on my brush, and it's kind of going over that edge there where the eyelashes meet the eye, and that you know, that softens it so it's not just such a harsh look. I'll go back to this lighter brown as well. There we go. Yeah, I kind of like that lighter brown on the edges here, because the lashes are a little bit lighter as they're coming further away from the eye. It makes them stand out. It makes it look, what's the word I'm looking for? It makes it look more three-dimensional by having it darker right here at the base, where there's going to be less light hitting the eyelashes down in here, and it'll be a little bit lighter up in here where the light is hitting it. So with this very subtle change from that almost black that I started with, a slightly lighter brown above it. Just come in here and you really start to see the eye come to life.